Hi everyone, welcome back to Her Happy Mind, where today we're going to talk about trauma. I am using my master's in positive psychology to look at how we can wire our brain in healthier ways, how we can look at trauma and depression and anxiety in different ways. And so I thought this would be a perfect episode because I think the word is being used way too casually right now. And I just want to say that with love because I'm currently reading The Myth of Normal by Gabor Maté, and he says, and I read this quote over and over and over, trauma isn't what happened to you, it's what happened inside of you as a result of what happened. And that really hit me because it makes you understand what is trauma and how to slowly work through your trauma, because two people can go through the same thing, the same situation, and one of them can build resilience and grit and the other one builds protection. And so it's not the event itself where trauma comes from, it's what your body did and how it digested what you just saw or what you just went through. So did your nervous system decide that wasn't safe? I'm not lovable. I have to do this all alone. I need to stay hyper aware and hyper vigilant all the time. That's where trauma stays stuck in your body. Trauma is a protection. So if your body goes into protection mode, that is where your body creates that trauma. And here's the part that people don't like hearing is that protection eventually becomes your personality. So for example, you'll cling or you'll detach. And if you're constantly feel criticized, you'll either overachieve or you'll self-sabotage. There's always two sides of the coin. Maybe you felt that love is unstable. So you'll feel like calm is boring and that healthy kind of love or that healthy kind of relationship will be like suspicious, like it's too good to be true, right? And that's not destiny, that's just your mind being conditioned, and conditioned can be rewired. I go over all the time on my Instagram how our neurons in our brain, no matter how old you are, you can always rewire your brain. And so I like to see trauma as this hole because we want to fill up that hole to make us feel like ourselves again. And that might be through drugs, alcohol, nicotine, overworking, toxic relationships, scrolling, getting validation, or validation addiction, right? Especially through social media today with selfies or certain career paths. We don't do these because we're stupid or we're silly or we're dumb. We do them because something inside us feels empty or unsafe. And that's where that hole, that's why I always picture trauma as a hole, is because we try to shove things in it to lower that stress. So we try to seek relief, but relief is not healing. The cigarette won't heal you, that drink won't heal you, getting another toxic relationship won't heal you, sorry. Here's where I'm gonna be direct. You can understand your trauma without building an identity around it. So there's a difference between I experienced trauma and, oh, well, this is just who I am. I've always been like this and, I can't change it now. You've probably heard some of these people in your life, right? And so your nervous system has adapted to survive. But you are not meant to live in survival mode forever. You're not meant to be addicted to this substance. You're not meant to be on this crazy roller coaster for the rest of your life. And that is why I love positive psychology and why positive psychology more than ever matters, because people think happiness just happens, but it doesn't. A hockey player practices before he's an elite player. A brain surgeon has to practice hours and hours and hours before she can operate by herself. And so why do we think emotional stability is different, right? Like you have to practice being happy before you're happy. You have to practice being healed before you're healed. And so if your nervous system practiced chaos for 10, 15, 20, 25 years, of course, calm is going to feel very uncomfortable. It's going to feel very unfamiliar. And familiar does not mean unsafe, okay? It just means something new. And sometimes new makes you scared or anxious. Or you're like, oh my God, what's gonna happen next? But if you want confidence, you have to practice confidence. And practicing that confident behavior is scary. Walking to rooms with your shoulders back, talking with confidence. Like these are all things you have to practice. If you want to have secure attachments, then you have to practice secure how you respond and how you behave. If you want peace in your life, you have to practice regulating your body daily, right? Meditation, breathing, cold exposure, gratitude, movement, setting boundaries. All these little repetitions in your daily life over time will change the rewiring of your brain. And that's called neuroscience. And I really love the neuroscience part of positive psychology because it shows us again that we are not a tree, we are not stuck forever, we can move. And the part I really care about is I want people to stop saying, why am I like this? And I want you to start saying, why am I rehearsing this behavior? Why do I always do this when this happens? Why do I do A when B occurs or C occurs? Because whatever you constantly rehearse will become your identity at one point of your life. You will do it so many times that it'll just be like, that's just who I am now. So if you rehearse victimhood, you will just constantly strengthen it, right? And if you rehearse agency, you will strengthen that too. So it's not toxic positivity where people might be coming from. It's neuroplasticity, and you are not broken, and you can adapt, and you just have to decide, do I keep living and rehearsing in survival mode, or do I start rehearsing expansion, calmness, like a healthy nervous system? That's where the shift comes in, is that you no longer want to live like this, and you will practice better habits to become like this. So you can jot down in your journal, how do you want to feel? How do you want to look? How do you want to behave? How do you want to respond to people? Because if it's been years and the pattern is just now ingrained in you and naturally, subconsciously, it's even more reason to seek support. Okay, that might be through therapy, that might be through trauma-informed therapy. All of that matters. Community matters. Healing alone is impossible. It's really hard. And so healing does start with a community, and healing does go faster and deeper when you have a community. And so there's certain books that I feel like, okay, well, I want to read some books and I want to learn a little bit more about this, right? So The Myth of Normal by Gabor Maté is the book that I'm reading now. Excellent book. It's just what we consider normal that should have never been normal. The second one is The Body Keeps the Score. This is by Bessel van der Kolk. I'm probably pronouncing your last name wrong, but it's a great book. And Atomic Habits. This is just a classic by James Clear. And I know when I was like an athlete, I loved like these motivational people, like they went through these traumas, or they went through these addictions, or they went through these rough times, or they went through failures, and they lost a gold medal and they lost silver medal, and they still built their life, right? Oprah Winfrey, Robert Downey Jr., Demi Lovato, Elton John, like all these people have had past, but their past didn't explain them. They didn't use it as an excuse. They grew from it. They adapted from it. They rehearsed different intentions. So now it's your turn to be more intentional with your actions. It's your turn to see, how do I want to properly behave? And it's your turn to seek out the help that you deserve, because you should not always be living in survival mode. We have this one life, this one chance, and to live it in a scarcity mindset and a victim mindset is not a good place to be. Everyone deserves to be happy. Everyone deserves to have a calm nervous system. Everyone deserves to have a calm mind, and it's habits and practices, daily habits and daily practices that you need in your routine to feel that safety and to feel that security and to feel that confidence. So if this is you or someone that may be dealing with something right now, send this to them. Follow me on YouTube and check out my other YouTube channels. But it is a disclaimer. Go and talk to someone who is qualified, trauma therapy, and find someone that works for you, because trust me, it does feel amazing on the other side. So thank you everyone for watching today's episode. If you have any comments, please comment them in the comment section below, and I look forward to getting back to them. Bye.